welcome back to another episode of Two Joes and a Broke. Two Joes, one Pro. As always, you got your guys, Kenny, Ryan, and Brian. My guys, what's going on with y'all? How y'all doing?
Apparently better than you, Kenny.
Kenny, you're gonna have to get real good at gambling to supplement your income.
Yeah.
You better start hitting on these bets. At least college football's taking a little bit of a break. So
yeah, so I just can focus on college basketball because I did a little bit better in there, right?
Well, yeah, it's quantity's higher, so
Right.
more
Yeah,
shots.
that's it.
Take more
That's
shots.
Yeah, so since we're talking about college basketball anyway, let's just stay there because I hate UNC. Right? It's crazy because I am a UNC Tar Heel myself. Now I am. But UNC, their basketball team is
But you're going there?
Yeah, I'm at UNC.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm a Tar Heel for my NBA. Anyway, they are trash. They just dropped out the top 25. It's kind of embarrassing because I want them to be good and they're not good. You know, like I won't ask you, Ryan, because you don't have a problem. But I'll ask Brian. Brian, you know how like you have a betting favorite, like it's a team that you always have to bet on, and
Yep.
it's like, bro, they're not going to be good. Like, why are you showing them so much favoritism? And you're like, I just got to bet on them. Like you're like, no, they can cover that. They can cover that. It's like they don't fucking cover nothing.
I feel like Kenny, you got a lot of those.
I do.
Alabama.
No, but that's
Temple.
No. I put Temple not to ever cover. That's what I put for Temple. They don't cover shit. Basketball, they actually been playing pretty well, but football.
That's Brian with the Patriots. Brian always picks the Patriots. I've never heard him make a non-favorable bet.
Oh, that's true. I will choose not to bet on their game.
Yeah. When Brian's not betting on their game, it means that he would go the opposite way.
Or no, not always.
So we'll get straight into it, man. On the college front, the number one is going to still be Houston. They haven't really played anybody too crazy yet. But at number two, we had Texas. They had a game against Creighton, number 17, where they played close, but they ended up winning. And then they lost at home recently to Illinois by 7. And then ironically, there was a good matchup last week that I actually got to watch. I was on the losing end of it, but I still watched it. It was Illinois versus Michigan. Michigan versus Maryland. And Maryland hit like a game-winning 3 at the end to win. So there's a lot of guys just chopping at the bit. UVA is a team that is not really on a lot of people's radar. They haven't been on people's radar for like the last few years since they had that little run to the Final Four. But right now they're in number 3. I haven't really watched any of those games, so I don't know what players they have. I don't know if they're probably just super defensively sound because that's just normally the type of team they are. And then Purdue, that's Aaliyah's team. She's always talking about bet on them, and I do not bet on them. I'm like, hell no, I'm not betting on them. So, but they're going good. Top 4. They're number 4. UConn is 5. And then Kansas is 6. I think my dark horse still. This is no favoritism, but it's going to be Tennessee. I like them. I like how they are. Their team, their long balls. And then they have a lot of they have a lot of size. So that's what I like. But Alabama's right in the thick of things. Arkansas, Arizona, Auburn, Baylor. Those teams are kind of in it. A lot of the blue chips, as we like to call it, Duke, Kentucky, Gonzaga, UCLA. Right now, they're losing a couple games back and forth. They're not really looking very clean right now, right? So they'll probably hit their stride once they get into conference play. But for the moment, right now, it's kind of like, it's just whatever. So getting into college football, man, it was an eventful week last week. We had all the conference championships. We got Alabama get robbed for going into the CFP. But now
if anyone was going to get robbed, it would have been TCU if they got knocked out.
It wasn't going to be them. So started off the week, Utah, as people thought that USC was just going to spaz. Utah upset a USC. They beat them very convincingly. And there was a lot of like hype around it because Caleb He's supposed to be the Heisman favorite right now, and he had like fuck Utah on his fingernails. He was like super amped. A lot of stuff going on in the game, and everybody's like, okay, cool. He ended up getting hurt. They were already losing, right? Karma. But he ended up getting hurt, and then
that's
Utah
sad. Has he been like that all year?
What?
Because has he been like that kind of like? Is he that kind of character? Like, is he? I mean, that to me is like some Johnny Manziel shit. Like,
so like the whole year he's kind of been like, oh, it's not about me, it's about the team. I think he is kind of got like a little me guy in him, but he's just doing it for the pub. Like, let me show face, right? But Lincoln
on this podcast, we don't talk about me guys. We talk about Kyler guys. He's a little bit of a Kyler guy.
Yeah, he has a little Kyler guy in him, right? He has a little Kyler guy in him. But you need to
little.
You need to have a little Kyler in you, right, to kind of win Heisman and do stuff like that. You can't be a team guy all the way and win the Heisman anymore. People want to see flashy. But anyway, they got their ass whooped, right? So they got their ass whooped. He was crying on the sidelines. And then the next day, TCU played against Kansas State, and then TCU went back and forth. That Kansas State was beating them convincingly for the most part. Then they came back like TCU does, and they actually went forward on 4th and 1 in overtime after getting stopped the last two runs or third down, the second down. I think they had a pass, but they got stopped on those two and went forward. I thought they should have kicked the field goal, but you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and that's kind of how they've been playing, right, with Sonny. So they went forward, didn't get it, and then Kansas State came back and won the game. And then Max Duggins, Max Duggins, he was crying, and then Caleb kind of like somebody said something, and Caleb like put laughing emojis by him crying or whatever, because I guess people were making fun of him crying or whatever. But I'm like, bro, what are we 12? Right? Oh, he was crying. I'm gonna put laughing, whatever.
I mean, they're kids. They're like 20 years old. He's a sophomore, isn't he? I mean, that's okay.
20 years old ain't a kid. Okay. Ain't a kid. I know you listen.
Well, I guess for you're still in your 20s, so
yeah.
I guess I get.
So just watch yourself.
You're a kid, young buck.
Young buck. So that happened, and then so the CFP got shooken up a little bit. So of course, I knew Michigan and Georgia was going to remain the same. Georgia beat that ass on LSU, and a lot of people were like, "Whoa, LSU exposed them a little bit." Nah, bro, they chilling. Like they had it, they gained convincingly, and then they just kind of like let off the gas at the end. But that will not happen in the CFP. Trust and believe it would not happen. So Michigan's there. Ohio State miraculously popped up. Oh. Come in, right? Miraculously, they popped up. They
fell out a top 4 last week, and they didn't come out of nowhere.
Bro, they are terrible. They are terrible, bro. Like
game.
Nah, bro. Like it pissed me off that Ohio State got in it so easy, and it wasn't even a thought. They got beat the fuck up at home. It's different if you're away, right? And that was Nick Saban's argument. It's different if you're away. You were at home and you got beat by 20. Right? They kept saying, "Oh, Nick, guess what? People get injured. That's part of the game." Okay, Ohio State, you're injured. You still got blown out by 20. And I firmly believe if we got the opportunity to go in there, we was going to shake this shit up, because Alabama team, what they look like now, it's not the Alabama team from before. The receivers are playing like they're sophomores now. They're not playing like freshmen. But it is what it is.
Alabama should have handled business in the regular season then.
Okay, cool. Right. But
that's what it comes down to.
USC,
Kenny, what are you most mad about? Are you most mad that it's one SEC team in the top 4? Is that in the college playoffs?
No.
And there's 2 Big 10 teams and a Big 12 team?
This is what I don't like, right? Sorry, I'm like, this is what I don't like. Georgia is Georgia, okay? I think TCU deserves to be in. I knew that they weren't going to like put Alabama in over TCU. I know that. Come on now, right? There's going to be an outcry, especially with Ohio State as well. But what pissed me off is that the Big Ten was trash this year. Ohio State didn't play anybody but Penn State, and then the next team that they played that was good was Michigan, and they got blown out by 20. So with that being said, who else did you guys play that was worthy of anything? Nobody. There's nobody in the Big Ten, but people are so fascinated by the name Ohio State that it's like, oh, they're a great team. They're good. How? Really? They beat Penn State and they got blown up by 20 by Michigan. Who else is a quality win that they have? No, Notre Dame. They got that USC blew out the water.
But we didn't play Notre Dame.
Utah didn't. I mean, Ohio State didn't play Notre Dame.
No,
I thought that played in the first game.
Oh, maybe. I don't think. I don't remember that.
Yeah, they did. 21-10.
Yeah, they played in the first game. So, like, besides that, what do you guys have? Right, that's kind of like my thought process on it. I think that they are going to, have a good matchup. Yeah, I think you can make some stuff happen, but I think the beginning game for the CFP is going to be close with Georgia, and then Georgia's going to get on that ass. Unless Smith comes back, the receiver, unless he comes back, the corners are going to handle Marvin Harrison Jr. Not handle like he's not going to get any catches. He's going to catch. He's still going to get his, but he's not going to go off 3 touchdowns. That's not happening. And all the little back and forth running, that normal teams do, you're not doing against Georgia's front. They're too fast, right? So that's kind of like my only thing in that regards. And then TCU versus Michigan, I think that's kind of like an upset alert that people are not paying attention to because people are not giving TCU no respect. They're like, oh, they don't play any defense. I'm like, yeah, but they have elite talent on offense, elite talent, right? And Michigan secondary is a little suspect. Yes, Michigan's going to run the ball. They should get they're going to run the ball, whatever the case may be, which TCU probably not going to stop. But JJ has to have a game because if it's a shootout, I don't know what they're going to do, but Douglas is going to score. That's just what TCU does. So I think it's going to be an interesting CFP. I think there's some good matchups. I think for the bowl game. So overall, I'm just a little salty because I want my team in there, and that's fine, right? Like that's what it's going to be. But I'm not gonna bang on TCU. I'm like, man, fuck them. Like they deserve to be in there, so I'm glad. And then we have some other news that's going on, but I'm going to touch on that later with hot takes like hot cakes. Yeah, that's all I have. That's all I have right now.
That's beautiful.
All right. We'll hop right into NBA real quick. We got the Lakers on a surge right now. They look a lot better lately, Kenny. Just thought I'd bring that up real quick for you. Do you think that it's real? Do you think it's something they'll sustain, or do you think it was just a flash in the pan?
Just a flash, bro. We lost yesterday versus the Cavs, so we ain't really the truth.
That's true. And then they're sitting the old guys tonight, so they're getting whooped by Toronto because AD and LeBron both are out. I don't even know if Westbrook's playing, but
yeah, we losing by 21 right now.
Yeah, well,
so like in my opinion, bro, really we are just too sometimey, and the league is just too good for what we have. That's just it. If we were more consistent, then okay, but we're just too sometimey. Right now we're 10-13. We're what is that? 5.5 games back from first place. We're not going to catch up that. It looks close right now because the season just started.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big lead.
Yeah.
To overcome. I mean, I don't.
You got to think
they'd ever make it to first. I mean, but could
no? But the number 16, the number 16 right now, the Clippers, they're 2.5 game back, and they're number 16.
So a 3-game difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
And people are just going to get better. So
yeah. That's true because, I mean, Golden State is going to continue to rise.
Yep.
They're 10th right now. Like, they're going to keep going up. Yeah, there's a big matchup tonight. Phoenix versus Boston, the 2 number 1 seeds as it sits right now. That should be a great game. Booker
for sure
always goes off on Boston. They can't handle him. So, hopefully, Tatum and Brown are ready to match him. Because I think it's going to take both of them. Because Booker is bound to go off for 50.
At least.
Like the dude's insane at scoring.
He had 75 against you guys right a while back.
Was it that high? I can't remember, man. That was like a couple years ago.
I remember he had a high 75, something like that.
He always goes off on the Celtics. Always.
Like Celtics. Oh, I'm giving them 60.
Yeah. He probably tells them before the game too.
Probably.
He gives them the Larry Bird. It's like, hey, I'm gonna be right there shooting all night.
All night, right there in that spot.
Yep. But speaking of the Celtics, like I said, they're number one. They've pulled away a little bit on the Bucks. They're 2 games up. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but like Kenny said, it's early in the season, so 2 games is a big deal at this point. Cleveland sliding back a little bit from them. They're 4 games back. And then after that, it's like basically everybody else. I always bring up like Brooklyn. They'll hang around because they got talent, but they're not a complete team. They don't play as a team. So, if they don't figure that out, I don't think they'll be anything more than just a bump in the road for some team.
Yeah, you can call them a bump in the road, bro. They're not figuring it out. No offense to any of them. They're not figuring it out.
Yeah. And then, I mean, like a team like the 76ers, I think is just, they need to get healthy. They'll be better than they are now. Do I think that they're a championship team? No. But, they're still a better team than the 7th place team. I'll give them that. And then I always like the Heat, man. I have mad respect for the Heat. They have a good coach, and Butler's a dog.
Jimmy's back. Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, so they'll be around come playoff time. Like I know they're in 11th now, but they'll be back.
Quick question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
What do you think about Nike terminating Kyrie's deal?
Was that? I mean, I wasn't sure about the details. Is that because of like the whole anti-Semitism stuff and all that?
That's what they said, right? But on that, Devin Booker and Ja Morant signature shoe is launching next year. So I feel like this was just a way for them just to move Kyrie out the way and to put some new young bucks in there, because Kyrie's garnering too much attention for what they don't want to see. So they're trying like, okay, we need some new blood.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of messed up. I mean, I hope there's something that he can get in some sort of recourse from them, to kind of make up for it a little bit. But it's definitely messed up.
I think.
I just don't think that, like I said it before, what he says, whether it's you agree with it or not, that's just an opinion. Like it's not like he was, I don't know. He was just referencing a movie. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And he shouldn't be punished like he has been for this.
And next episode, Brian's gonna he's gonna support Kanye West.
Whoa. Okay, now that guy. You want to talk about canceling somebody?
He can't cancel him.
Bro.
He's like Teflon. He's got that Trump syndrome.
He's worse than Trump ever dream about being.
But I think it's interesting in how things are happening. I feel like Nike missed a little bit. They expected Kyrie shoes to sell more than it did, and now they have that product line. They're like, well, it's not really selling much, so let's try to see if we get Devin Booker or Ja Morant in there to kind of boost sales, right? I think that's kind of like all a plot. But yeah. But let's talk about baseball.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, so
there's nothing going on in baseball, so let's go hockey.
Baseball is kind of hot right now. We got a lot of free agent signings to go over. I'll just start. I'll start with the Rays. They picked up a pitcher, Zach Eflin from the Phillies, 3 years, $40 million. They actually outbid the Red Sox, so good on them. Let's see. The Cleveland Guardians brought in Josh Bell, first baseman / outfield type. He got 2 years, $33 million. The Rangers, they got a couple pitchers. They got Andrew Haney for 2 years and $25 million. He's gonna be like your 4th starter on that team. And Jacob deGrom is the big prize for starting pitching. It's 5 years, $85 million. The Rangers rotation is going to be pretty damn good next year if they stay healthy. So keep an eye on them. They might make a little noise in the AL West next year. The San Francisco Giants brought in Mitch Haniger, 3 years, $43.5 million.
F you guys, both of you motherfuckers.
What?
Because one time, a couple weeks ago, I was doing injury updates for the NFL, and I was going through all the injuries, and you guys were like, why are you burying the lead? Why aren't we talking about the biggest one, the biggest injury that happened? Fuck you guys. Fuck you, Brian. Go ahead, continue with your
Aaron
shit.
Judge, 9-year, $360 million deal, re-signing to the Yankees. He's
Man, I was
re-signed
doing
with the
that
Yankees.
intentionally.
You piece of shit.
If you want to look at my paper, he's on the top of my list. If I went from the bottom up.
Oh,
And I'm going to keep going from the bottom up.
Go ahead, continue.
Thank you. This is my segment, Ryan.
Oh, my apologies.
Let's see. The Phillies brought in Taiwan Walker for 4 years and $72 million, and Trey Turner for 11 years, $300 million. Big signing for them.
11 years, $300 million.
Yeah.
Trey Turner.
Trey Turner is really good. He can run the. Oh, okay.
I'm familiar with Trey Turner.
All right. Yeah.
He's nasty.
Like the Phillies just got better.
Yeah, I was about to say you got Trey Turner, you got Bryce, right?
Their
you still
lineup
got
is
Hollis and like
their lineup is gonna fuck next year. That's what they're gonna do. Okay. You guys thought they were good last year. They got to the World Series. I mean, let's see. The Cubs brought in Cody Bellinger for 1 year, $17.5 million. He only wanted a 1 year deal because he wants to try to get a bigger contract next year. So he's betting on himself to bounce back. He's kind of had some down years since his MVP year. And then they also brought in Jameson Taillon, 4 years, $68 million. The Mets got two good pitchers. Justin Verlander, 2 years, $86 million. He was the Cy Young Award winner. And they also got Jose Quintana, 2 years and $26 million. The Cardinals have replaced Yadier Molina at catcher. They now brought in all-star catcher Wilson Contreras, 5 years, $87.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Red Sox, who I was prepared to say were going to do nothing all off season, because that's what they were trending on. They made a few moves. They brought in a setup guy and a closer, which they desperately needed. Chris Martin was the setup guy, 2 years, $17.5 million. And Kenley Jansen, all-star closer, formerly of the Braves and the Dodgers. He's 2 years, $32 million. And they have reportedly, it's not confirmed yet, but there's a source saying that they have signed Masataka Yoshida. He's an all-star outfielder from the Japanese league for 5 years, $90 million, which, he's over a 300 hitter, a good on-base guy. Granted, it's been in the Japanese league, so we'll see how it translates.
Is that like isn't it Japanese league?
Is that Japanese?
Isn't it Japanese? Is that similar to Dwight Howard in the Taiwanese league?
No. No. Japan has historically gotten quite a few good players to come over. So it's not like it'd be more like the NBA G League.
Okay.
Every once in a while you get a guy that comes up and he's actually pretty good.
Okay.
So that's more what it's like.
What about the Yankees?
We already covered that. Aaron Judge.
Yeah,
unless you want to talk about them getting Tommy Conley. I mean, I guess he's a good bullpen, but
no, we just care about the 360. That's all.
Yeah, 9 years, 360. I will hand it to Judge. I think his agent used other teams just to leverage the Yankees into upping their offer.
Yeah.
Because
I saw the Giants. I thought the Giants said 365, or it was like speculation that it was 365. The Giants are trying to offer him on a max deal.
Yeah, I don't know. And
we need receivers.
No,
I'm just kidding.
There was actually a guy, I think John Hyman is his name, or Heyman. He actually tweeted out that the Giants had signed Aaron Judge yesterday and it was up there for I think 7 minutes, and everybody was going nuts, and everybody was re-reporting it, retweeting.
That's what I saw then.
Yeah, and then he tweeted out again after that and said that the Giants hadn't actually confirmed it. So,
wow, he probably lost his job.
No, no, but he is one of the more prominent baseball guys. So,
how much do you think he got paid for that tweet?
I don't know.
Gave him a little bag.
Scott Boras is like, "Hey, here you go.
Put this out, bro. I'll give you $2 million."
Yeah, quickest $2 million you ever earned. But yeah, that's baseball. I feel like this free agency is a lot hotter than normal. So
Yeah, for sure.
there's still some good names out there. You got Carlos Correa still out there. Xander Bogaerts is still out there. I mean, there's still a lot of big names to be landed. So this is there'll be another update next week, hopefully. But yeah, that's all I got. And we'll do hockey another time. And not much of an update since last week. So go for football.
Hey, we'll do a World Cup update real quick before we do a
U.S.
football.
sucks.
The U.S. did suck. They
I
lost
said
3-1.
we can do football, not soccer.
No, chill.
I like
So
this.
the
I
U-
like that Brian's adding.
US
I like this Brian's adding this.
Yeah, U.S. well, because Logan's been watching a ton of it, so
Yeah.
we've been watching it with him. So the U.S. lost to Netherlands 3-1. Argentina beat Australia 2-1. So the Netherlands and Argentina are going to play each other. Japan lost to Croatia in a shootout. So that
I
was
like
pretty
that
bad.
though. I like Croatia.
Yeah. So Croatia won, and they're going to play Brazil. Brazil beat South Korea.
Yeah.
Not North Korea. Just want to be specific there. And then England beat Senegal 3-0. They routed them. And then France, whooped on Poland. France is
It's
amazing.
supposed to be. It's England and France, right? The next game.
Yeah, it's England versus France. That's going to be a tough matchup.
For sure.
But if Mbappe shows up again, I think he had 3 goals this last game.
He went crazy.
He's a beast. And then the big upset is Spain losing to Morocco.
Yes.
0-0 in shootouts. Morocco made 3, and Spain made 0.
Did you see the videos from Morocco?
Like of the game or of
the fans.
No, I haven't seen them.
Bro, y'all gotta go look that up. That shit was
getting
crazy.
wild?
They were going crazy. Like the whole country was just.
Yeah, Morocco's that's their first time winning
Yep.
in the 16. And the other big news is Ronaldo got benched because he got in an argument with the head coach, and then the guy they replaced him with went out and had a hat trick and scored 3 goals. So Portugal won 6-1 against Switzerland, and then now they have to go up against the Cinderella story Morocco. So
yeah, they're gonna bust their ass though.
They probably will. I just wonder if Ronaldo gets benched again.
I don't know, man. I think right now Ronaldo, he's kind of messing up his not really messing up his legacy, but he's going out like on a bad note, right? So you got kicked off the team when you was in England, right?
Yeah.
Then now nobody really wants you because they think you have an attitude problem. You don't want to come off the bench because you're like, I'm too good for that. Understandable. Now he went in. Huh?
He went in at like 72 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about when he was playing with Man U. With Man U, he didn't want to come off the bench.
Yeah.
So
he is still reported. I don't know if Saudi Arabia has taken their offer off the table, but he is reportedly taking that $200 million contract for 2 years.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's 200 plus. I think it's like 230 or something ridiculous.
That's crazy, bro. He still can play. Don't get me wrong. He's still a GOAT in my opinion. Like he's still my favorite player. Right. I like him. Messi's like right next to him though. But like he's still my favorite player. I like how he does his.
I'm gonna be honest.
Thing, so.
I don't watch soccer, but watching it now, like I was like, oh, Messi, he's just like walking around. He's like that guy you hate in football that like goes 0% and then turns it on and goes like 110 whenever the ball's near him or whenever he has to go.
Mm-hmm.
But like on the other plays, when it's like a run play, that receiver's just gonna like barely block or just like come up and stand next to them. But like when it's coming in their way, they're going 100%. But that's what Messi looks like when he's out there. He's like not running. He's just conserving. He's a 34, 35-year-old guy just chilling.
Yeah. He's been playing since he was 16, man. Like, that's a long career.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go straight into football.
American football.
The United States of America, NFL. Hey, so Baker gets cut by the Panthers, which is pretty dope. That was funny. Couldn't see that coming. But then he gets claimed. San Francisco lost homeboy.
Matthew Stafford.
No. San Francisco lost. Well, yeah.
To the Rams.
Listen. Chill. San Francisco lost Garoppolo to a foot injury. He escaped the Liz Frank injury, and I don't think it's like a broken foot. But so first reports came out saying he's done for the year. So everyone's thinking, oh, Baker gets released. He's going to the 49ers. But the problem is Baker only has they're only responsible for 1.3 mil of his contract. So he was pretty enticing for a lot of the teams on the waiver wire. So the Rams sniped him from the 49ers. Not that the 49ers were going to be interested in him anyways. But that's a pretty cool storyline because apparently Sean McVay really, really liked Baker during the draft process. And the other thing that might be telling is this might be it for Matthew Stafford. He's got what's the spinal cord contusion is what keeps him out for the year. He's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, you can't play with that though.
I think his career is over. Which in his mind, he doesn't care. He got his Super Bowl ring. He played well, and he's gonna ride off into the sunset.
You just can't play with that, right? Because you do something with that, the contusion goes and you paralyze. Nah. So you just gotta be cautious, and you're not making the playoffs anyway. So I just call it a day. And Baker sucks, so let him continue to get his name slandered.
Yeah. Hey, the guy that came in for the 49ers, Brock Purdy, mm-hmm. He was Mr. Irrelevant. First Mr. Irrelevant to go out and throw Mr. Irrelevant is the last pick of the NFL draft. But they have a parade for them and everything, which I think is pretty cool. But this guy comes out, makes the team, and then ends up starting for him. So it sounds like he's the quarterback until Garoppolo comes back, who he might come back, could return for the playoffs, but Shanahan's been downplaying that a little bit, saying I'm not very optimistic about his return.
Same thing with Greg Kittle last year. Oh, he's not gonna. We don't know if he's gonna come back. Greg Kittle came back like he was fucking healthy all year and shit.
Oh, yeah. What about his brother George though?
George, I don't know why I said Greg Kittle. I'll tell you,
you're mean, man. I didn't even want to correct him.
You should have corrected me, bro, because my mind is gone right now. My mind is broke.
All right. Well,
Greg Kittle.
Hold on. Another injury that happened last week.
His brother George.
Another injury from last week was Trevor Lawrence went out actually with a pretty gruesome looking knee injury at the second half. And I was like, oh man, this dude's done for the year. And then he comes running out. So he must have got a cortisone shot and was like, all right, I'm good to go. He came out the second half, finished the game. But it comes out that he might be out this week. So he's popped up on the injury report. So if you have Trevor Lawrence and you're trying to play him in fantasy, keep a lookout on the waiver wire because you're probably going to need to pivot if he doesn't play this week.
You can get Trevor. He can fill in for him.
Trevor. Timmy Lawrence.
Yeah, he's got a little bit shorter hair. But,
oh man.
All right, hold up. We got some more news. Hey, Odell Beckham started his tour around the world. It's not going in his favor. He visited the Giants Thursday. He visited the Bills Friday, and then he was visiting the Cowboys on Monday. So he visited the Cowboys for 2 days, and now reports are coming out that about his knee. The Cowboys are concerned about how his knee looks right now, so they're trying to. He spent 2 days and he doesn't have a contract with the Cowboys. They didn't give him a contract. If Jerry wanted him, Jerry would have signed. He's not letting him leave the building. So they must have saw something on the X-rays that did not bode well for Odell.
Odell wants a lot of money still, and Jerry don't want to pay that. So
which is crazy.
If I could put some shit out there, right, to make it look bad and make nobody want to get him, then guess what? Then I can lower. He's going to come back and say, all right, well, I'll take 4 instead of taking 7 or 8. Right? That's what I think this is. Because why didn't the Bills say anything? Why didn't New York say anything? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's the Jerry Jones way to talk. Yeah, we want, but everybody.
They got leaks, man. They got leaks.
We want him though. We want him. The team is saying we want him. We want him to be on the team. But you gonna say his knee's not right. His knee's
Jer-
not right.
it's because Jerry Jones is the team. He's like the only owner that like goes on a radio station every week, has like a spot on a radio station like in Dallas. He goes on every day and talks about the Cowboys. Like this guy is the Cowboys. He probably leaked it himself because he's sick.
That's true. He's also the other. Never mind. I ain't gonna talk about that. Never mind.
Hey, other big news is I don't know if you guys remember this, but the Titans traded AJ Brown during the draft, and he was pretty pissed with them. So when Philly played the Titans this week, he had 119 yards, something like that, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
they literally tried to score with him. There was a flag. They ran the same thing back to him. He was wide open for a touchdown. And then he mossed some dude to like manhandle and took the ball, and then was just jawing at the sideline for the Titans. Anyways, it was so bad, and the Titans are so embarrassed they had to fire their general manager, John Robinson. And then videos started coming out of like Vrabel like getting all like how he was like upset afterwards that when he found out that AJ Brown was traded and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty wild. And but that catch by the dude that they drafted, Traylon Burks, he caught a touchdown pass over the middle, and he got knocked out. He was out, like not too knocked out, but like
he was
knocked out. He
kept his fingers straight, but
well, maybe his fingers were curled up because he held onto the ball like he didn't.
That's what I was so surprised he held onto the ball. I was like, bro, he's still holding onto the ball. That's crazy.
I think they had to take it out of his hands. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was out.
He was night.
Yeah.
They hit him hard, bro. Yeah. Shout out to Haas too. He's been snapping this year. I think he has like 8 or 9 sacks this year, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it was reported that it was like an MCL injury for Von Miller, but then I guess they went in and looked at it a little bit more, and it turns out it's an ACL tear, and they had to do surgery. So Von Miller is out for the rest of the year, which really, really, really hurts the Bills' chances in the playoffs.
How do you mess that up?
It was probably because it was swollen. They probably didn't know. And then once the swelling goes down, they have a better look at it in imaging.
Or you know what? A lot of the coaches might have knew, and then or the people that took the X-ray probably like knew the doctors, but they didn't want to say anything until it's like 100% confirmed, because like what Brian was saying, once the swelling goes down, then they could really tell what's going on. And I don't know, that kind of sucks.
He probably has something done to his MCL as well, because normally they do that as well. If something's wrong with your MCL, they got to wait for it to chill out before they can go operate anyway. So
yeah,
that sucks though.
Yeah, it does, because that I think that takes them out of the running for the Super Bowl. Honestly,
you thought that he made that difference?
Yes,
that big of a difference?
Yes, yeah, I did. That he is significant, unless Gregor Russo and Epineza can fill that void somehow. Like, I don't know.
You know, he was on the field when they played against the Vikings, right?
So
who was stopping Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, okay. I mean, he's not guarding a wide receiver.
I know. What I'm saying is that he wasn't doing that much to where he was irrelevant.
So think about how much worse it's going to be.
Because he probably tore his ACL at the beginning of the game and played the rest of the game with it.
No. Never mind.
Hey, we need to talk about this. So we all talked about it. Deshaun Watson's coming back first game in, and we're like, they're going to stomp Houston. And guess what? They did stomp Houston, 27-14. But guess what? Deshaun Watson was hot garbage. This dude looked like trash. He couldn't hit like anything. Like he was 12 for 22, 131 yards, and an interception, 0 touchdowns. But you did see some sparks of him like scrambling in the pocket, getting free. So maybe once he gets a little loose and he gets a couple games under his belt,
couple massages, he'll be good again. That's it. We just need to break. We need to break it right now.
I'm just being honest.
Tight, you know.
He looks real rusty. He
on a dry spell.
Oh homie needs a massage for sure.
Tell you, he's
Oh,
trying to
man.
hold out.
But yeah, he just looked really, really bad. He had no, like, Amari Cooper has been a stud all year. He was 4 for 40. Like,
I hated that. I hated that bad.
like, so we'll see what happens there. Hold up. The Giants suck. They tied with the Commanders. We just can't catch a break. And you know what? It's not like they didn't have opportunities. They had multiple chances. They had a chance in OT. They had a chance right before the half or right before the end of the game. Like, they just could not get it into the end zone or a freaking field goal. They missed a 59-yarder, which whatever. This dude, Gano, who is our kicker, hit a 61-yarder to beat the Giants when he was on the fucking Panthers. But he can't hit a 59-yarder to get us the dub.
Because he's almost 40 years
Bro,
old.
that was
now.
like 4 years ago.
I
That was
don't
like
give
4 or
a
5
shit.
years ago.
I don't give a flying shit. Like, no one understands how. Like, if we won this game, in my head, I'm like, oh, we're locked for the playoffs. But now we have to win against Washington when they come off the bye. So we
you're
play
scared?
Philly. Yes, because we play Philly this week, and then we have to go to Washington to play Washington. I don't think Heineke's that good, but if we can't guard Terry McLaurin, which this guy was just going up and down the field every time he got the ball, I was like, I don't understand. How hard is this?
That's why they call him
Anyways.
Scary Terry.
Shut your mouth, dude. They ran the ball to get a little closer to the line of scrimmage, and then they were gonna, or to get a little closer so that they can kick the field goal. This was right before they hit the 59 or missed the 59-yarder. They wanted to get a little closer, so they're like, "Oh, let's just run a play. We'll go up and spike real quick because we have no timeouts because they wasted their timeout the drive before." We'll get on that one day. But they have Saquon and Richie James that comes in the backfield next to them. And he goes to do a read option to fake it to them to the run and then run it, or to give it to the running back. Both of these idiots go like they're getting the ball. So I don't know. I don't know if it was Saquon that did it wrong or if it was Richie James. Odds are we're not giving the ball to Richie James up the middle. So I don't know what he was doing. These two idiots bump into each other. We almost fumble it. He goes down at the line of scrimmage and we have to spike it, kick a 59-yarder. I'm not mad, though. I'm not mad.
Sounds like you're upset.
I am not mad. Hey, the Seahawks beat their game against the Rams. That was 27-23. But they did have some casualties in the backfield. Kenneth Walker has by the way, Pete Carroll's like the worst when it comes to like player updates on injuries. I think he called it. It's not an ankle sprain. It's like an ankle bone, like jam.
Bone bruise.
No, he literally called it like a bone jam. Like it's his ankle's jammed. I hate this guy. So who knows who's playing? And then DJ Dallas, the backup, has got like an high ankle sprain. And then the third, Travis Homer, was out this week with an illness, and a knee sprain. They got Tony, like they are just a mess in the backfield. So we'll see what Seattle does, because the Giants need Seattle to lose, because like I was pulling for the Rams because they're the team looking on the outside looking in with 7 wins, and it'd be nice if they would not be at 7. They'd be at 6 wins right now. The Dolphins, Waddle went down pretty early in the game and he was out. I can't remember do you guys remember what his injury was?
I do not.
I don't remember either, but Brock Purdy came in and beat the Dolphins. So he was in for most of the game. So that was a pretty impressive win by them. That just goes to show that the 49ers are just loaded with talent up and down the field. The Raiders look like they're coming back. They look like they're looking good. I mean, they're 5-7, but they beat the Chargers.
Waddle had a fibula. How do you say that right? Say it
That's
right.
not
Fibula.
Is it broken?
No, it just said he has a fibula injury.
fibula. I don't know what that is.
Fibula.
Yeah,
But they have it on here as FBULA, fibula.
Fibula?
I don't know. Yeah, I never heard of that. It got to be fibia.
No, I think
It's
it might be
Fuba.
just 2 different places.
for
Or
us,
two,
bias.
2 different bones or something.
They're gonna be like these motherfuckers can't talk. They can't fucking spell. They can't read. Two Joes, my ass.
What is a fibula?
Fibula injury, limited by fibula injury.
Oh, it is fibula. Oh, you're thinking of tibia.
Yeah,
But
that's one.
yeah. Not
what about the fibia?
There is no fibia. We're just making that up. We're fibbing.
Fibula is one though.
What?
Fibula.
Yeah, fibula, but not fibia.
No, I said fibula.
Right, but you also said fibia.
Yeah, because I said that because I want to see. Yeah, tibia. Yeah. Anyway, my bad, guys. Two Joes in a pro anatomy.
Is it fibia or fibula?
It's fibula.
All right. Hey, Joe Burrow has Patrick Mahomes' number. The Bengals, for some reason, know how to beat the Chiefs. They beat them 3 times in 2022, at the end of the year last year in the playoffs, and then this game this year. So that's pretty impressive. That the Bengals are now 8-4. Chiefs are 9-3. With that loss and the Dolphins losing, the stars aligned for the Bills, and the Bills are now the number 1 seed in the AFC. We'll see if they can hang on to it. And then the hot team right now is the Cowboys. In a lot of the power rankings I've been seeing, they're moving up the board. I think in the NFL, it was the highest one I saw. They were number 2 listed behind the freaking Eagles. The Cowboys are running on all cylinders. Like the rotation they got with Pollard and Zeke right now. Zeke looks like he's like 2 years younger. I'm not getting crazy, just like a year or two. He looks a little bit younger. He looks a little spry. He's going to score a lot of points this week. But
he actually looks better than Pollard right now.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, like I think Pollard kind of like burned himself out or something. He just got to get like rejuvenated.
Yeah,
because Ezekiel looks good right now.
They had a historic fourth quarter. They scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. They didn't do this was a close game, and I was like, I'm going to bed. And it's just I turned around, it was interception, touchdown, interception, touchdown. Like it was historic. It was great. I had one more thing about the Cowboys. Oh, they play Houston this week, right? So Houston, if you look at the stats, like fantasy football wise, they are so good against quarterbacks. I think only 2 quarterbacks in fantasy this year have thrown for 20 fantasy points on the Houston Texans. And it's not because the Houston Texans are good. It's because they're so bad that quarterbacks do not throw touchdowns against this team because they just can run the ball down their throats. So Zeke and Pollard are going to have a day against Houston. But I thought that was interesting. Like a team can be so bad that sometimes you want to target those defenses like Houston. But sometimes when they're so bad, like throwing, the quarterbacks have a tough time against them because coaches want to take that. They don't want to take a bunch of chances. They just want to run the ball and not worry about getting their quarterback injured. So I'd be surprised if Dak even throws 2 touchdowns this week, which would be pretty interesting.
He's going to throw 2. He's going to throw 2.
All right, we'll see. And then the last thing I'll bring up here is Brady, just like magic. I think it was like 3 minutes they were down, freaking 16-3, and the dude scores a touchdown, and then they get the ball back with like 54 seconds left, and he drives down the field and scores another touchdown to win the game.
It's just beautiful.
And it's funny because it was 16-3 with like 7 minutes left, and Antonio Brown's Instagram was like a reel of him of just like that video montage of like Brady getting sacked with like 7 minutes left, and they were getting routed 16-3. And then you didn't see him like post on Instagram anymore that night because Brady turned around and won 17-16. It's wild. He is playing a lot better post divorce.
3-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got rid of some baggage, so he's feeling good.
Yeah.
He's feeling a little younger.
Just let that be known for the married men out there that your women are just holding you back. No, I'm just playing, Jeff.
They were weighing you down. I'm sure they feel the same way.
Yeah. Just so if you're close in fantasy, you need like a W this week. Just
get a
get
divorce
rid of
real
your. Just get a divorce real quick. Hey, and congratulations, Kenny, for winning this week in our league that we do with our friends here, TNT. You that pretty much locked up your spot unless you lose this week really badly.
I won
But
last week.
you beat her, right? You beat Amanda.
No, no, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes, you're the.
This guy don't even know.
I listen. I swear I saw it and I was like, I'm losing, man. I'm not gonna beat her.
Yeah,
I thought I
you ended
lost.
up beating her.
How did I beat her?
I don't know with your team. Like,
Okay. Anyway, that's fine.
so
I'll go back and look.
Actually, I got it right here. Yeah, you beat her 131.24 to 129.92.
Oh,
So
who
you
snapped?
beat her.
Somebody
you
must
beat
have
her.
went off that day. Somebody was. Oh no! It's because the Cowboy. I had the Cowboys defense.
Oh, that historic fourth quarter really hooked
Yes,
you up.
29 points.
And Totally Pollard, 24 points.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Who's
helped
been?
me.
Adams was nice too.
Yeah, that I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I
that
appreciate
Lamar
it.
Jackson was
Yes,
pretty
sir.
lit too. 1.34.
I know that shit hurt me.
Man,
Boy.
why
When
you
I saw that, that's
bring-
why I closed it out. I saw that. I was like, man, fuck, man, and I was so mad. But
Yeah, you won. So you've essentially locked up the spot. The only chance is like I don't know. I think Bryant is close to you. If you lose, but you have points for against Jess. So like if Jess beats me and then you lose, you should be. I don't know. I think you got it either way.
anyway, don't hype me up.
Congrats, buddy.
Let's get straight to it, man. I got two things quick for hot takes like hot cakes. We already touched on Jerry Jones' big mouth. So we're not gonna hit on that again. And then I want you guys' really quick take. Who do you guys have winning the college football national championship?
I'm going chalk, Georgia. They look like they're gonna steamroll teams.
You think so too, or what?
Ohio
No.
State is
Oh,
going
my
to.
gosh.
It's
Ooh.
redemption. They're going to win.
Nah.
Last
I
time
like
they were
the-
the 4 seed in the college football playoffs, what'd they do? Oh, that's right. They won the championship and they beat who? Who was that, Kenny? They beat? Oh, they beat Alabama.
Yeah, I know. I'm
It's
tracking.
going to happen again.
Yeah, that's the only time you guys won. So just chill.
Because they're going to
You
get
only been
their
twice.
stud running back.
So what you're
Traylon
saying is
Henderson.
they're gonna beat Ohio State in the playoffs?
What?
Or the Ohio State's gonna beat Alabama?
They're not gonna beat Georgia.
Oh, they
Yeah,
already beat Alabama.
When does Alabama play? When does
They're in.
Alabama-
They're in, and Alabama's not.
All right, I'm not listening to this. Georgia is gonna win it. I have my dark horse is winning it all. It doesn't sound like it, but TCU.
TCU?
Yeah, I don't
That'd
think
be
the Big Ten
nice.
is gonna win at all.
Of course not, because you have to hate Brian.
I got to. So then I want. There's two things I want to take. First, I wanted to talk about the Deion Sanders hire at Colorado. Get you guys' take on that because everybody has some type of. He's not for the culture. He's not for the culture. So I'm just curious on you guys' take. If you had the opportunity, right, to take a contract that give you 28.5 million, compared to you getting a 4-year deal that's 1.2 million at Jackson State, logic says take it, right? Do you guys agree with that or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So it pissed me off a little bit that people were like, why would you do that? Da, da, da. Like, he never said he wanted to be at HBC for the rest of his life. First of all, people didn't even think he was going to be successful at an HBCU, nevertheless, make it to a Power 5. And it's like, man, he's made all these strides. He brought all this attention to Jackson State. Most people didn't even know who Jackson State was, right? He brought all this attention, and now you guys are trying to, like, slander him because he's not staying there. When half you people out here cannot even stay at your job for more than 2 months, right? So, like, with that being said, stop it. Cut it out. Right?
Does he have desires to coach like collegiately and then like NFL maybe?
Yeah, no, I think he said it was real college. I think once the FSU positions open up, I think that's the thing that will take him for sure. But because he went to FSU, right?
Yeah.
But I think his biggest thing was he's like, man, I really made that jump because we had 4 African American coaches fired and 1 hired, and that was me. right? So he's like, man, I feel like I have a calling that everywhere I go. I feel like I'm getting a calling to come here to keep the door open for people to step on my back and to continue to ascend up the ladder, right? And people ain't looking for that. They're like, no, you chasing the money. What? The object is to change lives and to make money in the process.
Talk about
Why?
the money ain't there according to the athletic
That's the
director.
that's another thing I want to touch on. He was like, the money's not there yet, but it's gonna come. Like I said, what? You guys,
if you're Dion and you hear that, you're like, wait, hold up.
but Dion already said, he's like, man, I've been making money for a long time. It's not about the money. The facilities and everything they already have is way better. I can continue to make impact. But I was really thrown off a little bit about that. Like that 28.5 million, it looked good, but the whole time it's insolvent.
He
Don't worry
just
about
said
that.
some dumb. He's not that guy's not used to like the publicity, the coverage.
Yeah,
He
he's
just
not
was like,
realizing.
they're probably just waiting on because think about it. If Colorado goes to like a bank and is like, hey, we need money to take a loan out, they know that they're going to be able to pay it because once
Yeah,
players start committing because
they just had a
they want to
5-star.
play for Dion. Yeah, exactly. They want to play for Dion.
Yeah.
Like
They just had a
like
5-star. He's the number 3 receiver for something like that. He just committed. And then the highest ticket sales ever in Colorado history just happened. They had all the highest merchandise sales just happened. Like everybody's like, oh, everybody's fucking Buffalo fans now, right?
yeah.
Because of their Buffaloes, right?
Yeah,
Colorado
everyone
Buffalo.
relax. If freaking I think they're Buffaloes, right?
Yeah, yep.
Listen, if freaking Jeff Saturday can come from like the grocery store to freaking coaching the Indianapolis Colts, I think Deion Sanders could freaking come in and coach a
Yeah.
good team. So
And so I'm happy for him, man. I can't wait for people that's over here knocking him and saying fuck Dion and all this other stuff. When he starts winning at Colorado, I don't want to hear anybody talk about, oh, we love him. No. Keep that same energy,
No.
right? And people try to make him the bad guy because he said guys need to hop in the transfer portal, but he didn't say it like that. People just want highlight. They just want clickbait. He said, if you guys are not willing to work, I'm gonna push you to the end and make you quit. If you guys are not willing for the challenge, go hop in the portal. Go now. Because when I get here, I'm coming. Like, all that losing stuff, everything you did before, that's not acceptable. People are like, oh my gosh, the guys are college athletes, and this is how you do them. Like, what? They sucked.
Yeah.
They're trash.
He said he called his son the quarterback. You saw that though?
Yeah, he said he coming. He said, yeah, the quarterback coming, and 10 other dogs. So if y'all ain't ready, just let y'all know they ain't playing. We playing, bro. They have 4 and 5 stars at Jackson State that they're bringing over. Like these dudes are supposed to be at the SEC, Big 10, Big 12. They just chose to trust Dion. You think they're not gonna come and play at Colorado when y'all out here losing all games, getting blown out by 30? Cut it out, y'all get out of here. So sorry, that's my spill. Right?
Is his son any good?
His son is good. He's good. His son was a 4-star. His son is good though. His son can throw. He's athletic, right? I think this is going to be a good highlight for his son too, for people to see that he's actually really good. And then my last thing I want to say to college players out there, talking about the portal, stop transferring in the portal after 1 year, right? Like
it's just because it's so easy now.
Go through some adversity, right? Like you got all these guys that were starting for 2 years and then they want to go in the portal because they're not happy with the coach. Okay, whatever. But for you freshmen that just hopping in the portal for 1 year, Jan Daniels hopping in the portal again. Like, bro, you play for 4 teams already, right? Or 3 teams already. You're hopping in a portal again. That's just crazy to me. That's asinine that they even let him do that. And then shout out to Harris. I think his first name is Frank, from UTSA, getting his 7th year in NCAA. That's an accomplishment. Never happened before.
Wow.
Was this Van Wilder?
No, 7 years. He already has 10,000 yards at UTSA. So he's come back again. He could have went to the NFL. He's like, but they gave him an NIL deal, so he said, "I'm going to stay back again."
What position does he play?
He plays quarterback.
QB.
He's good. He's good. Yeah, bro. He has hella touchdowns. He's good.
At least he's not running back. Half his career. He's almost 30 years old.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. 7 years. I was like, damn, bro. Call it a day. But hey, if he could do it, why not? He's gonna have his doctors when he leave there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
he probably doesn't even have enough credits to.
Don't even go to class. He just chill. Yeah, man.
He's one class short.
Yeah, right. That's all I have though.
He's got
I
20
thought that was
PE
funny.
credits.
20 PE credits, right? He got 1,000 gen eds. So that's it.
All right.
But
Well, what do we got? Fantasy football right now?
yeah, we could do it
What?
quick.
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
It's still going on?
For some of us. All right. Real quick. What do we got? Week 13, or this is week 14, right?
Yep.
So this is week 14. Most of the playoffs start next week. Unless you're in some bogus ass league where you go until the last week of the year, which is stupid. Don't ever do that because a lot of teams like to bench their players. Anyways, if you have locked up a playoff spot, congratulations. Start looking at defenses that are playing 15, 16, and 17 and start getting the ones that have good matchups, especially if you have a bye week. But for those of you who the playoffs start right now, because you need to win every single game until the championship, we got news for you because we got players that can start. Trevor Lawrence, he would be a good matchup against Tennessee, but he's potentially not playing. But on the other side of the ball, Ryan Tannehill's a good streaming option against Jacksonville. But the players I'm kind of going for this week is Jared Goff against the Vikings. Remember, if Mac Jones could throw 300 yards against the Vikings, I think Jared Goff, with all of his weapons, can throw for 300 and a couple scores against the Vikings. And then on the other side of the ball, the Lions are not good. This is going to be a shootout. Kirk Cousins is a good start streaming option. You can pick him up from the waivers. And then if the Seattle Seahawks do not have any running backs, Geno Smith's just going to toss the pigskin all around the field. And he's playing the Carolina Panthers. So that's a good matchup. So I'd like to get Geno Smith in that lineup somewhere. At the running back position, I think we kind of talked about this. If you have Zeke or Pollard, start them both against Houston. I don't care. The way they're splitting that backfield, it's pretty good. Pollard's playing like 43% of the snaps. That's pretty good rate for a scat back like that. Well, not scat back, but like, that it's those glory days of like Eckler and freaking Melvin Gordon when they were both eating. That's what Pollard and Zeke look like right now. Dante Foreman's playing Seattle. Seattle's not great against the run. So I'd like to play Dante Foreman. Chuba Hubbard, if you have a long shot, like you really, really need to throw someone in there. He still had like 16 carries last week. Because they're not going to rely on freaking homeboy to throw the ball, Sam Darnold. So they're going to get a lot of running in there. DeAndre Swift against the Vikings. That's just that you just want to target these high scoring games. And then Miami, a lot of people are kind of shying away from Jeff Wilson because didn't he have a terrible week last week?
He only had one rush.
Yeah, I don't know what happened last week. He only played like 38% of the snaps. So, but it's a good matchup against the Chargers. So I'd kind of lean on like still trying to get him out there. Especially because Jeff Wilson's the guy that gets most of the pass down work, right?
Yep.
On that. Yeah. So if the Chargers can put up points against Miami, it's a little bit more of a shootout. Maybe Jeff Wilson's the guy. So I'd start Jeff Wilson and Mostert, or try and get him in my lineup depending on what kind of studs I have. And then at the wide receiver position is Garrett Wilson and Mike White have a connection. Garrett Wilson has been like crushing it. He's averaged 25 fantasy points the last 2 weeks with Mike White. So, yeah. And you know who's even else been getting the ball a little bit is Elijah Moore, who I think they need to get involved a little bit more, but he's not going to be fantasy relevant this year. DJ Moore had a good week with Sam Darnold. He likes him a lot. With Sam Darnold, he had 29% target share, so that's pretty good. That's high for a wide receiver. So he's getting a third of Sam Darnold's targets. I'd start DJ Moore, and you're going to be super disappointed because if you have DJ Moore on your team, you're probably not in playoff contention. So that kind of sucks. But if you survived the shitty part of the year, he might win you a championship because DJ Moore's gonna light it up this week. And then Christian Kirk has been the unsung hero for the Jags. Even if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play. Christian Kirk's the main focal point of that offense, and they're playing the Titans, who are not good against the wide receiver. They're extremely good against the run, really bad against wide receivers. And then the Bucks are playing the 49ers. I just like Debo, unless he's actually injured. So keep an eye, because I think he popped up on the injury report this week. And then the tight end position, this is Hawkinson, since he has been traded, has been getting massive. Like, the person that got hurt the most with the Hawkinson trade has been Adam Thielen. He's been pretty putrid since Hawkinson came, because Kirk Cousins can only throw to one white pass catcher. So, and that's Hawkinson now.
What the hell?
I'm just chill. I'm just kidding.
What the hell?
Hawkinson's going to be a start this week. They're playing the Lions, and he's been getting a ton of targets. Pat Freiermuth is another guy that continues to get targets. He's the pacifier for Kenny Pickett. And this is a dart throw. Brian is probably all on board with this one, but the Cardinals are god awful against tight end, and Hunter Henry is the only guy you can even potentially throw in Jonnu Smith if you're in like a super like 16 team league. You're scraping the bottom of the barrel. He could potentially get you some points.
He might be hurting.
He's not going to get a lot of options. And then the last guy is the Chargers tight end, Gerald Everett. He's a good start against Miami. And those are my tight ends, man. I'm not even gonna go with defense, because just figure it out, man. Chill.
We'll appreciate that for Ryan's fantasies. For BK bets, I don't have anything for college. I think when we get closer, maybe next week, I'll give you guys a crazy bowl ticket that we always do. But yeah, college basketball. If you guys are following us on Action Sports, I'll be putting the picks up there. But yeah, it's off to Brian.
All right, real quick, just get 3-teamer for you. We got Minnesota plus 2.5 at Detroit. I have no idea why they're getting 2.5 points. Honestly, I think that's money in the bag right there. I'm taking the over in the Dolphins at Chargers. But neither team can play a great defense. They both can score like crazy. 26 a pop. You're in the money.
Wait, who's getting 2.5?
The Vikings are getting 2.5 points at the Lions.
Okay. All right.
Like, am I crazy, or is that like?
What's the over under on that? I bet you it's like in the 50s.
52, I think, or 56.
They know something you don't know.
Yeah, they do know something we don't know. Vegas is
Probably.
smart. They know.
Yeah, Vikings are gonna get blown out. And then, the third one, I like it again. Jets 9.5 at the Buffalo Bills. Like, I think they're gonna keep it close. Call me crazy.
Mike White, savior.
Mike White? No,
that was weird.
Doesn't have the same ring as Mike Jones. Damn.
No,
not at all.
Yeah.
No,
I think Mac Jones, he's got that.
Yeah, and I wish there was a way for us to. I guess I could start putting some of my bets on here. I'm on the bet. I'd be betting all the time on DraftKings. So
as long as you're winning, it's all good.
Well, this past 3 days, not so great.
It's 3 days. What about the last 20 minutes? Because I'm sure you've had a bunch of bets. You've already been. He's doing in-game bets right now. Boston.
No, I'm not. I will later though. I only have 2 parlays going tonight. Okay, I have one in hockey.
Only 2.
Yeah, I've just bet on my teams tonight. I bet on the Boston teams. So that's it.
Too easy, man. Well, listen. As always, man. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLERS, and then they'll be sure to take care of you, right, man? Gamble responsibly, please. Brian gambles responsibly. He doesn't spend more than he can, and we don't want you guys.
He's playing with house money right now, still, right?
Not anymore.
Oh man,
I had to make my first deposit.
Oh man, yeah. As always, man, we appreciate you guys. You have anything before I close this out?
No, I love everyone.
Yeah, we love everyone. We appreciate it. Continue to like and subscribe. Let's get this algorithm going a little bit more. It seems like if we say anything violent or hostile, we get more likes. Damn, YouTube, do better. Damn, Google. But anyway, follow us on all the socials. Share with your friends, and then we'll be sure to put some flashy or some crazy shit as our pictures and our captions, so we can have more people listen to us. We'll holla at y'all. Peace.
Peace.